gentlemen, I bring to you, straight from Atlanta, Georgia, Ms. Keri Hilson!
What up guys, Ali here, and welcome to the channel. Now before I get started, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if you want to help the channel, add me on Instagram at Ali Talks Music. In the early 2000s, Timbaland was becoming a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. He formed his own record company called Beat Club and signed numerous acts to his label, including Ms Jade. But by the mid-2000s, Timbaland's label was no more. It folded, leaving Timbaland in a state of disappointment and defeat. Not being one to give up, Timbaland started a new record label around 2006 and called it Mosley Music Group. Unlike his earlier situation, Timbaland decided to focus on more genres of music and signed a diverse group of artists to his label. One of the artists he signed was a songwriter and aspiring R&B singer who goes by the name Keri Hilson. As a kid, Keri was certain she wanted to pursue a musical career. Luckily, she was blessed by the support of her parents. Around her late teens, she kickstarted her career as a songwriter and background vocalist, and eventually ended up in two girl groups, Pretty Tony and Design, both of which were an epic fail. It wasn't all terrible, as Keri made a lot of music industry connections behind the scenes. As a songwriter and background vocalist, Keri wrote so many songs and did backup vocals for quite a number of acts. Among the list include Usher, Ludacris, Kelly Rowland, Ciara, and Polo the Don. Now Keri's career really started taking off when she began working with Polo the Don. Because Polo believed in Keri's talent, he gave Timbaland her info because he thought Timbaland would appreciate her songwriting skills. While on the phone with Timbaland, Keri sang for him, bringing her singing ability to light. Impressed by her vocal skills, Timbaland signed her to Mosley Music Group shortly after that. During her career, Keri Hilson wrote a lot of songs and hits behind the scenes. She became a singer and celebrity of her own volition. However, lately it appeared that she has taken a backseat from making music. So the question is, what happened to Keri Hilson? Why did she have beef with Ciara and Beyonce? What is she up to now? Keri Hilson versus 5G. Let's dig in and find out.
My album is finally coming December 9th. I cannot describe to you guys the feeling, what that feels like.
Keri's big breakthrough came when she was featured in Timbaland's hit single, The Way I Are, which made the charts around the world. When that song came out, everyone wanted to know who the lady with the powerful vocals in that song was. With that newfound fame, she came out with her very first album called In a Perfect World. Initially, the project was supposed to come out around 2007, but it was postponed until 2 years later. It appears Timba wanted the album to be perfect, causing multiple delays. When the album came out, it debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 and sold about 94,000 copies in the first week. Now let's compare those numbers to other female R&B artists that came out that year. Alicia Keys dropped The Element of Freedom in 2009 and it sold about 400,000 copies in the first week. Emery dropped In Love and War and it sold 12,500 copies in the first week. Chrisette Michele dropped Epiphany and it sold about 80,000 copies in the first week. Rihanna dropped Rated R and it did about 180,000 copies in the first week. Now if we compare Keri Hilson's numbers to the rest of these, it looks like her sales were average or slightly below it. In my opinion, In a Perfect World is an album that was created to produce a hit record. Almost every track on the album sounds like it has commercial appeal. They're catchy, pop-friendly, and the lyrics are very simplistic. Interestingly enough, the first track called Turning Me On features Lil Wayne. At this point in his career, Wayne had a lot of buzz and was jumping on everyone's songs. He was the it guy as far as making a hit goes, so it's no surprise that he appeared on one of Keri's singles. A lot of people may not agree with me, but apart from Turning Me On, the main singles off In a Perfect Way have aged very well. People still bump Knock You Down and Energy to this day, proving that Keri made music that is able to stand the test of time. Her Spotify numbers prove this as well, but we'll get into that a bit later. Overall, In a Perfect World was a good commercial album, as Timbaland and Polo the Don made sure that the project was laced with the hottest beats. Now around the time Keri's first album came out, a leaked version of Turning Me On, the remix, came out. Aside from the new vibes the remix brought, what was much more shocking were the lyrics, which were interpreted by the music community to be throwing shades at Beyonce and Ciara. In the remix of the song, she called out Beyonce on her inability to write her own lyrics and even used a line from the Queen Bee single, Irreplaceable. After that, the mainstream media literally sparked. The lyrics went like, I ain't trying to start some mess. There's just something on my chest that I need to get off, cause you're turning me off. Your vision cloudy if you think that you're the best. You can dance, she can sing, but she need to move it to the left. She need to go have some babies. She needs to sit down. She fake. Them other chicks ain't even worth my time to talk about.
She need to go have some babies. She need to sit down. She fake. Them other chicks ain't even worth my time to talk about.
Now, Beyonce didn't really address these bars directly, but the Beehive didn't let it go unnoticed. She received heavy backlash from Beyonce fans all over social media for a really long time. Initially, the shade she threw at Beyonce on her song was overlooked after a while, not until 2011. Now there's more to the Beyonce story, and I haven't even started talking about Ciara yet, but first we need to discuss Keri's second album. Now around 2010, Keri released her second album titled No Boys Allowed. The album initially did much better than her first album, selling about 100,000 copies in the first week. However, over time, In a Perfect World has sold more than her second album. Now there's an interesting story surrounding a track of No Boys Allowed called Bayou.
I see ya, it's hard not to see ya. Face like Aaliyah and plus a college degree.
Before J. Cole jumped on the track, Lil Kim was on it. Lil Kim's version was slated to appear on Keri's album, however it was replaced. According to Keri, the label thought her album would be better if it had more male features, and thus Lil Kim had to be removed. Kim was basically just trying out a verse for Polo the Dawn, I Happen to Have It. But having all boy features kinda took precedence over that happening. What I hear is a very smart person when I listen to J. Cole. He's very intellectual, and I knew that he would bring that side out of the record. Now it appears like some people believe Lil Kim was left off the track because her verse wasn't all that. Others jokingly say that Nicki Minaj had something to do with it.
Now, rumor has it.
Oh, God.
Don't do this.
Rumor has it
That's how he always starts it off. He gonna say something crazy.
that you had Lil Kim on the album. Nicki Minaj called you and said, get that bitch off.
No.
And you took her off and put J. Cole on.
Where did you hear that? No, absolutely not.
So why is Lil Kim not on the album anymore?
I don't even know if Nicki knew about a Lil Kim verse.
Okay. So Lil Kim was supposed to be on
but
the
that
album?
was just a leak.
Okay.
No, she wasn't supposed to be on. I don't even know how that verse happened. I heard it when others heard it.
Woo!
What?
I thought you actually wanted to do a collaboration with Lil Kim.
Come
I was
on!
like, you just standing next to all the washed
You know
up
what?
chicks.
Whatever the case may be, Lil Kim was left off No Boys Allowed, and at the end of the day, nobody seemed to care about it. As far as the other tracks on the album, I Can't Stand the Way You Love Me. That song just doesn't work for me. Needless to say, there are a few duds on this album. However, when Keri Hilson hits, she does it well. Toy Soldier is a song more suited to her target demographic. It's more emotional and introspective. Breaking Point is another good one. I feel like the album definitely needed more tracks like these. Just my opinion. During the 2011 Soul Train Awards, Keri Hilson, amongst other celebrities in attendance, were being interviewed by a magazine. And by the end of the interview, they were asked to hold up the latest issue from the magazine. Keri Hilson did not. According to the video, when she looked at the latest issue of the magazine and saw Beyonce and Jay-Z on the cover, she handed it back and refused to acknowledge their request.
You wanna hold the magazine? Just shout out Juicy Mac. You wanna hold the magazine? Just shout out Juicy Mac.
Oh. You wanna hold the magazine? Just shout out Juicy Mac.
This was yet another time she was caught throwing shade at Beyonce, and in response, Beyonce's fans rained fire and brimstones on Keri Hilson, and to her emotional health plunged, causing her to shy away from the media for a very long time due to the depression. After Keri Hilson dropped her second album, her love for music began to fade. She recalls paying $100,000 for studio time and not going into the studio because she didn't have any motivation anymore.
I remember a lot of days I was just incapable. I paid over $100,000 in studio time, and a lot of days I would pull up and I didn't go in. I couldn't go in.
For a while, she was depressed and would fake her smile amongst friends and family, hiding her pain. In 2013, she tweeted, "You have no idea what your hateful words could do to someone's spirit. Years of verbal abuse from strangers all day. Enough is enough. I'm here for my fans. I'm stronger than you imagine, but waking up / going to bed to your ugliness is just too much, kids. I get it, okay? You can stop now. As far as whatever you're really mad about, I had my reasons. It's been years. Just chalk it up to your ignorance of my reality and let it go. As for my mistakes, God has dealt with me. It's too much. Please, is everything I tweet gonna be intentionally misinterpreted as a statement about someone / drama I know nothing about?" Now, as we all know by now, the beehive doesn't play, because Keri's tweet only added more fuel to the fire. Later on, after going on hiatus, she spilled the reason behind the beef between her and Beyonce in an interview with Claudia Jordan. Keri Hilson revealed that early in her career, the people she worked with orchestrated the rumored beef with Beyonce, and she, being so young, had to do what she was asked. Early in your career, you feel like you have to listen. When you buck, they buck harder and make threats. These threats are huge ones. You don't feel like you have a choice. I really didn't feel like I had a choice. You learn to fight harder, but I did not have enough fight in me at 2021.
No one could ever compare to Beyonce. Let's just say the name that we're discussing. No one could compare. No one will for a very, very, very long time. And that was never my aim either. However,
it was framed that way.
Well, no, it was absolutely framed that way. It was written that way. Was not my lyrics, was not my writing.
Now, in my opinion, Keri Hilson might have been pressured into beefing with Beyonce, but at the end of the day, she could have just said no. We all have to live with the decisions we make. I'm just speculating here, but maybe she thought to herself, if I beef with Beyonce, I might gain more clout, and that will translate into more record sales. Or, if I beef with Beyonce, I might be able to take her spot. Now, after Timbaland released Shock Value 2, he was slated to release Shock Value 3. However, that album did not come out. Interestingly enough, the album contained a song called Sorry, and according to Timbaland, Keri Hilson apologized to Beyonce on that song. Now, after Keri Hilson heard what Timbaland had to say about the song, she denied apologizing to Beyonce and said Timbaland misinterpreted her lyrics. Later in her career, Keri addressed her haters, claiming she didn't get booted out of the music industry and left on her own. While I appreciate the sentiment, contrary to popular belief, nobody got me out. I left at the height of my career to handle some internal biz. Soul searching complete. Now, call me a skeptic, but whenever an artist says something like, I left my label because I wanted to go independent, or I left because I wanted to focus on family, 9 times out of 10, they got dropped from their label, or they had to leave their label because they weren't selling enough records. I'm not saying this applies to Keri Hilson, but artists don't usually leave at the height of their career. They usually do so when nobody's checking for them, or when their buzz is starting to die down. Now let's go back to the Turning Me On remix to discuss Keri Hilson's beef with Ciara. The lyrics directed at Ciara read as follows. Go ahead and tell them folks how long I have been writing your song. I've been putting you on, just check the credits, ho. Now these lines didn't go unnoticed because Ciara responded in a song called Basic Instinct, You Got Me.
I got a little too prissy. I didn't expect y'all just to try to get me.
And then some people thought you were taking shots at maybe Keri Hilson on that record.
That record right there is a song that I dedicated to my haters. And I also dedicated to my fans though. So, that's what that record, it was for. It's just me really expressing and getting a lot off my chest, because I'm normally like, I've experienced, you get the haters and stuff like that, and they don't really mean anything. However, let me just say something real quick. Let me just get something off my chest, and that's what that record kind of allowed me to do.
Now, before No Boys Allowed got released, Ciara and Keri Hilson appeared on Ustream in 2010 and squashed their beef publicly for the last time.
Thank you guys for, supporting us, but now hopefully our fans can understand that, support each other.
Spread the love.
Spread the love, all of that.
Yay.
All right, so deuces, no more interviews about it. This is the last time we'll talk about it, hopefully.
Yeah, it is. No, it is radio. I'm going to say this. Radio interviewers, there's nowhere you can really go with this. At least from my perspective, like I would say that when I sit down with you, because it's just so many more better things to talk about, and the last thing I want to do is spend time talking about some drama.
Right. That was
yeah. Well, at least this kind of drama. We're women supporting women, uplifting each other.
Now, before No Boys Allowed got released, Keri Hilson took a subtle jab at Ciara. Around that time, Ciara dropped Basic Instinct, which did about 37,000 copies in the first week. During an interview with The Breakfast Club, she took a jab at Ciara by saying that she wanted to sell more than 35K. Now, at this point in her career, Keri Hilson wasn't really beefing with Ciara, so it sounds like Charlamagne was trying to bait Keri Hilson into saying something negative about Ciara.
We need you to do better than Ciara. Oh. That's all I'm praying for Keri to do better than Ciara.
Ouch.
Ciara only sold 30-something thousand records.
No, but you know,
they friends now.
So, the truth is the truth. She only sold 30-something. You want to do better than Ciara. Come on.
I would like to do,
great numbers.
Yes.
Higher than 35. I mean, everyone would.
It was actually 37.
Okay, 37.
Give her extra 2,000.
Now, around 2016, Keri Hilson announced that she'll be releasing a new album after a 5-year hiatus. Since 2011, Keri Hilson had been talking about dropping a new album. However, it wasn't until 2016 when the title of the album, Liar, which is an acronym for Love is a Religion, was leaked. The album is still MIA. Now, around 2019, Keri Hilson hopped on Instagram and left a very lengthy post. From the sound of things, Keri Hilson has been sitting on a lot of music and hasn't been able to put it out because she was blackballed. It seems like her beef with Beyonce still affects her to this day. Now, every once in a while, Keri Hilson stirs up a little bit of controversy on Twitter and Instagram. Now, when the COVID pandemic began, the world was in a panic. People were buying toilet paper in large amounts, while others were stocking up on food. It was truly a trying time. However, while the world was descending into chaos, Keri Hilson thought that she had the answer to the virus's origin. According to the pop singer, COVID is linked to the wireless 5G network. People have been trying to warn us about 5G for years. Petitions, organizations, studies. What we're going through is the effects of radiation. 5G launched in China November 1st, 2019. People dropped dead. See attached and go to my IG stories for more. Turn off 5G by disabling LTE. After Keri Hilson posted the tweet, there was immediate backlash from the public, forcing her to delete the tweet and take back the things that she said. Management has asked me to delete vid/articles. I appreciate good discourse on unconventional thinking. Let's all just be safe out there, because whatever the cause of the virus is a real thing. May God be with us. Prayers to all. Lately, it appears like Keri Hilson isn't dropping any new projects. She may say that she's about to drop a project, but chances are it's not gonna come out. Her music still brings in revenue, so clearly she doesn't need to drop anything anytime soon. Keri Hilson gets about 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and her most popular songs on the platform are Pretty Girl Rock, Knock You Down, Got Your Back, Energy, and Turning Me On. That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to Keri Hilson in your opinion? Let me know down below. Video requests? Let me know down below as well. Be sure to add me on Instagram. That's Ali Talks Music. What happened to video dropping next week. Till next time, peace.